what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. Many of you have now heard the term stepped-up basis and it possibly being eliminated, which is very concerning. I encourage you to schedule your free 15-minute consultation with attorney Harlan Mitchell to find out what you can do to protect yourself and your family. Schedule your appointment with attorney Harlan Mitchell by calling 256-216-9884 or by going to bamaestateplanning.com. Do it today.
Would you like enhanced energy, better moods, less fatigue, help with allergies, better sleep, mental clarity, or just want improvement of your overall immune health and well-being? Do you need to recover from intense activities, workouts, or sports? Then IV therapy at the Drip Factor inside Trinity Medical Center is right for you. Our IV drips are filled with nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that will help your body replenish, restore, and achieve your wellness goals. For more information, visit trinity-medicalcare.com and schedule your appointment today at Trinity Medical Center, located at 500 Governors Drive.
Hello, my name is Christian Martinez. I'm a rising senior at Athens Bible School. My school is great because of the wonderful environment in which students can grow and flourish. We have great academics that include the University Preparatory Diploma and dual enrollment courses that lead to an associate's degree before high school graduation. All my teachers and the school's employees are Christians who are devoted to the welfare of students. We have an excellent student body, competitive sports program, and study the Bible first thing every day. It's a great place. Please consider joining us at ABS next year, or give that special child in your life the great opportunity I have.
Whether you're new to aviation or an experienced pilot looking to advance your skills, Go Vertical Aviation has you covered. With an excellent learning atmosphere and a staff committed to excellence in education, Go Vertical Aviation will customize a learning program just for you. For more information, go to goverticalaviation.com or call 256-412-5226. Be sure to follow Go Vertical Aviation on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Don't just go. Go vertical.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta, Nashville, and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week, with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
Hey everybody, this is Daryl Worley, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. Hey, step up and make a difference like he does.
Hey y'all, this is Jeff Foxworthy, and you can make a huge difference in somebody's life. You just may not have figured out how yet, and that's why you're listening to The Mark White Show.
Hi, this is Maggie Peterson. I played Charlene Darling on The Andy Griffith Show, and you are listening to The Mark White Show.
Hi, folks. This is Ricky Skaggs, and you're listening to The Mark White Show.
Hello, I'm Gene Stallings, and this is The Mark White Show. Get off the sideline and get involved and make a difference in your community.
You are listening to The Mark White Show. My daddy is your host, Mark White.
Do something good today.
Welcome to a Saturday edition of The Mark White Show. I am your host, Mark White, and I appreciate Open Hands and Overflowing Hearts for the effort that they are involved in when it comes to research for childhood cancer. And I pay attention to what they're doing on Open Hands and Overflowing Hearts on Instagram and on Facebook. I see more on Instagram, and I follow them there. Yesterday, they posted about Turner's Heroes, and I reached out to Turner's Heroes to bring awareness to this special organization in honor of Turner Cockrell, who was a student athlete at Vanderbilt University. Welcome to the Mark White Show, Cody Markle, founder and executive director of Turner's Heroes.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you, Cody. How old are you?
I am 23.
Turner was around your age, about the same age as you are?
Yes, we were actually the same football class at Vanderbilt. We came in at the same time in 2016, and then we were both tight ends, and eventually we're roommates after that.
So are you around 6'4", 6'5"? What's a tight end at Vanderbilt run?
Yeah, just about 6'4".
225 pounds?
I was 250 when I was playing. I'm down to about 225 now.
Good
but when
for
I was
you.
playing shape, I was 250.
There you go. Well, try to maintain that. You'll stay in good health after it's over. I know after my football playing days, I didn't fare so well. So if you ask me what my weight is in comparison, it's quite a bit more. And so you're doing great at 23, and I do wish you well on that health journey after football.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been out of it for about a year and a half. So I had a little time to recover after all the various things that kind of happened to you playing college football.
Absolutely. And during your time of being at Vanderbilt, is that when we lost Turner Cockrell?
Yes, it was. He was diagnosed with melanoma in the fall of our sophomore year, and then kind of went through treatment over the course of almost exactly a year from his diagnosis. Whether it was radiation or chemo or experimental T-cell treatment. And then he passed away in the fall of our junior year.
Well, let me ask you, Cody, when Turner found out he had cancer, how was that conveyed to the team? How was that announcement made? And what was the atmosphere during that time?
Oh, boy. I don't even remember. I know since we had a really close group of friends, and we were kind of like all in a roommate group as well. So we knew before the whole team knew. And I think that conversation was just between Turner and us. Basically, he kind of just came back after finding out and told us. And then in terms of the whole team, I think we just announced it as a team meeting. And I mean, being 20-year-old, Division I athletes, you don't think like cancer is going to, take your life or severely impact you. So it was always a really positive message that, hey, we're going to beat this. Hey, that type of thing. And that kind of reigned true through his entire treatment pathway. And that's kind of why I started Turner's Heroes in memory of him, as his like positive spirit kind of just throughout his treatment. And when as things were looking down, he was always fighting and incredibly positive about the future. So that was something that was really inspiring to me personally.
Well, one of the things I think about, Cody, I was 18 years old when I left Lauderdale County High School and walked on at the University of Alabama as a place kicker. And we don't think about anything but that moment typically. After doing this show for almost 4 years, I now realize across the board, cancer affects every age group, every individual in some form or fashion, every community. And I've witnessed that firsthand with families. And so, as you mentioned, here we are with a 20-year-old diagnosed with cancer, a Division I, very healthy young man playing football at a very high level, and suddenly to know that you have cancer, that would come as a shock to young people who look at their whole lives as being ahead of them. Not that this reality is that you may not live much longer.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's true for sure. And especially, I know when people normally hear like melanoma, you don't really think of it as a super serious type of cancer because it's a skin cancer. And so obviously there are forms of melanoma that are very, have very good prognoses, but unfortunately Turner's kind of version of it wasn't. It was more nodal, so it kind of spread throughout his lymphatic system, and it was due to kind of just a genetic mutation that was, impossible to know it was coming. So it was kind of, I don't know, it was crazy, and I don't think any of us really thought it would end how it ended until towards the end. We are always super positive throughout the whole process and pathway and that type of thing. So yeah, no, it's definitely not something you expect to deal with on like a Division I athletics team or like through your college experience.
Let's turn our sights towards Turner's Heroes. Did Turner realize that anything would come from his battle with cancer, anything like this, that Turner's Heroes would exist? Did he know that while he was living? No,
he did not. Just in terms of when I started it, I started thinking about it a few months after his passing. And then I worked with his family very closely in kind of forming the organization and what our goals were and what we were going to do. So yeah, he did not know at the time of his passing.
Well, let me ask you this, Cody. When you approached the family and you had this suggestion, of course, for anybody, that could be a really awkward situation. I know there are people out there who want to make a difference and want to step up to the plate, and maybe there's some hurdles that they feel like they have to get over. But when you decided that you were going to do something in honor of Turner, how did you approach the family? How did you let them know that you were interested in doing this and ultimately get them on board with this?
Yeah, so we were always super close to his family. So I'm originally from Wisconsin, and kind of the roommate group I keep talking about, we're from all over Wisconsin, Ohio, Texas, Indiana, Tennessee, and Turner was from Atlanta. So he was like one of the closest families to us. And so we saw them a lot. It's a quick 3-hour drive for them. So we'd see them for games and at other times. So we were always really close to his family. And then especially during the kind of, cancer year, as I call it, since his family wasn't really there for the start of his treatment, they were still in Atlanta and he was getting treatment at Vanderbilt. So we were kind of like in constant communication with his family about how he was doing, especially when he was really tired from chemo or radiation, that type of thing. And then towards the end, he actually went home just because he was kind of sucked of all his energy, and it was just better to be around family. And they kind of did the same for us and always keeping us in the loop. So I'm very close with his family. I was in the past. I'd probably even closer now. And so they were obviously totally cool, for the lack of a better word, with kind of what my vision was and what my plan was. And they've been on board the entire time. It wasn't really an awkward conversation at all, because it just, they're basically my family as well. So I've loved it because it has helped me to constantly stay in touch with them, and we talk all the time, and they're very involved with the organization. So it definitely wasn't awkward at all, just because we have such a close relationship.
Absolutely, and I think that's wonderful to step up at your young age, to be able to ask the family if you could do this, and for them to be all in. It's definitely carrying on the legacy of Turner Cockrell and keeping his mission, his effort alive as you do this with positivity. And I'm so thankful that Open Hands and Overflowing Hearts shared about Turner's Heroes and what you're trying to do. Let's talk about this effort and what your vision was, what you shared with the family, and how you wanted to take the next steps moving forward.
Yep. So just to start, Turner loves superheroes, whether that was like, movies, TV shows, comics, all of that. Especially when he got sick and didn't have a lot of energy to do a lot of other things. He was always, rewatching the Marvel movies or DC movies or reading about those things. And so I knew it had to be something to do with heroes and superheroes. So I came up with the name Turner's Heroes, obviously, and then kind of what our goals were to support pediatric patients in children's hospitals through superhero-themed events. So kind of what that has looked like is student athletes volunteer inside children's hospitals, and patients come down from their rooms, patients just walking through can come, and we design superhero capes with them. And it's a lot of fun. It's a ton of fun. We have like hot glue guns, stickers. They can put their names on them, draw on them, all that type of thing. Our tagline is, our patients are superheroes. We just provide the capes. So we really see patients as our heroes, and we're just providing them the means and the reminder that they are heroes. So that's kind of the one end of things. And that's great in connecting like student athletes to children's hospitals, which is another thing that we love to do. So kind of as we've been in like the COVID year, we haven't not been able to do in-person events. So that has led us to do Zoom calls between teams and patients and virtual cape designing events, which have been great for, having to be virtual. We're very excited to get back into the children's hospital with in-person events, but yeah. And then on the fundraising side of things, we fundraise for pediatric cancer research, obviously. So kind of what that has looked like so far is two $50,000 discovery grants at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, focused on pediatric cancer research topics. So our most recent one is focused on new treatments for acute myeloid leukemia. And then the first one was expanding and making pediatric genetic testing for pediatric cancer patients more accessible and efficient. And so we've done those two grants, and we've also started a named endowment fund up in my hometown of Madison, Wisconsin at the American Family Children's Hospital.
I love that. And when we think about pediatric cancer, we think about young children most of the time. I know that there are those who are above 18 years old who are also treated by pediatric facilities. Was that the case for Turner as well?
He was both. So he was both in the adult hospital, and I think he was in the children's hospital as well.
So he benefited from Monroe Carroll and the services offered there at Children's Hospital in Vanderbilt.
And yeah, and just kind of how that hospital is set up, Monroe Carroll and the Vanderbilt University Medical Center are the same thing for the most part. They do have their own separate hospital, but the care teams work together. So like the oncology and hematology doctors at both the Children's Hospital and the main hospital both kind of worked with Turner.
Great. I'm going to take a quick break if it's okay with you, Cody.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Folks, right now we're talking to Cody Markle. He's founder, executive director of Turner's Heroes in honor of Turner Cockrell, a student athlete at Vanderbilt University. Turner's Heroes is a pediatric patient support nonprofit based in Nashville, Tennessee, and it has teamed up with PGA professional golfer Will Gordon to drive out pediatric cancer. We're going to talk some more about that when we come back. We're going to continue our conversation with Cody Markle with Turner's Heroes. You are listening to The Mark White Show, and I'm your host, Mark White.
A little wink, a pat on the back, a big old hug, a little laugh. We can make a difference. All we have to do is try. Every day's a chance to change somebody else's life. Let's all do something good today.
The best way to buy, sell, and experience land is with Jonathan Berryhill. For your farm, ranch, recreational, hunting, timber, and acreage needs, contact National Land Realty Professional Jonathan Berryhill at 256-874-7354 or email at jberryhill@nationalland.com. Be sure to follow Jonathan Berryhill with National Land Realty on Facebook. This is your land.
Thompson Roofing and Construction is a locally owned family business serving the North Alabama and Southern Tennessee area. They are a Better Business Bureau A+ member since 2011 and a GAF Master Elite Contractor. Give them a call at 256-952-3309 or check them out on the web at 256roofing.com. They offer free inspections.
Thompson Roofing and Construction.
Is it time for a haircut? Go see my friends Philip Butler and B.H. Parker at Southwind Barbershop, located at 1637 Lee Street in Rogersville, Alabama. Give them a call at 256-247-5658. That's 256-247-5658.
Mr. Cecil Batchelor is the one that started this business as Dependable Service Center. And even though now it's Green's Dependable Hardware and we're a True Value store, our tagline is still Your Dependable Service Center. We've tried to keep that alive for all these years. Mr. Batchelor really started a good business. We're really excited to be carrying on a long-standing tradition. It's the oldest retail store in the city of Russellville. We're Green's Dependable Hardware, 15220A Highway 43 in Russellville, Alabama. We're right behind McDonald's or right across the street from the hospital. Number is 256-331-0123.
Your Dependable Service Center.
Hi, I'm Crystal Gale, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. And one smile can make a difference. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Someone loves you, I do.
He drives into the city, works extra hard all day. Finishes up early so he can get away. 'Cause there's a blue-eyed kid on second base, wants dad to watch him play. Daddy knows he.
Welcome back to a Saturday edition of the Mark White Show. On the line with me right now is Cody Markle. He is founder, executive director of Turner's Heroes. And again, I want to thank Open Hands and Overflowing Hearts for sharing about Turner's Heroes on their Instagram so that I could find out more about this special organization in honor of Turner Cockrell, who was a student athlete at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome back to the Mark White Show, Cody Markle.
Thank you.
So I closed out the last segment as we talked about Turner's Heroes partnering with PGA professional golfer Will Gordon, who also attended Vanderbilt University, correct?
He did, yes.
And he knew Turner as well?
Yes, he did.
That's a big step for the organization to have a PGA golfer to help to promote and to move this effort forward. How did that come to be for you to get in touch with Will and to let him know about the effort and him to join forces with you?
Just being, in college athletics, you don't just interact with the football team, you interact with everybody. So Will and I have been good friends for the last 4 or 5 years. He was a year older than Turner and I. So we've always known each other and we've stayed in touch since then. And so he's a rookie on the tour this year. He got his tour card last year. We actually went out to Montana together after he got his tour card, and we started talking about what are the ways that we can do something really special for, between Will and Turner's Heroes in a way that honors pediatric patients and also raises funds for pediatric cancer research. He's a great overall guy, and he just wants to give back. So me being close friends with him and him knowing Turner and Turner's story, it was just a very natural fit. And so we just we're on the planning process all fall of what we could do, and getting approval from the tour and all the different tournaments, and it's going super great so far. So I'm really thankful for Will, and it's been good for everybody.
Well, and the fact is it comes down to individual patients. It comes down to those who are battling cancer right now as we speak in the pediatric facility and beyond. And Will is honoring 10 different patients at Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt throughout the spring golf season. And I know that means a lot to the young people and the families as Will does that. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so what we did, our fundraising is pediatric cancer focused, but more of our patient support side of things is all pediatric patients. I just want to throw that in there. But so yeah, we had 10 pediatric patients at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt design patches to put in the center of Will's golf towels. So every week he has basically a different patient's design on his golf towels for the week. And then on social media, we're kind of highlighting the patient and their stories and, kind of showcasing their towels as well.
What has been the response from the families?
It's been great. I always share the towels and a picture of Will with the towels on the course each week with the families. And it's been super positive so far. I know he's definitely gained a few young fans, which is great.
Happy for him in that. We just don't know, Cody, the little things that we can do to recognize these young people
Definitely.
and to help their families and support them through this effort. There's a step that we all can take, whether that's to send a card or a letter or send a gift to the hospital. Even though COVID-19 has affected our ability to visit, to spend time with the families, I know prior to COVID, I was able to go to various hospitals and go and see the families in person, and that has changed, but it hasn't changed the fact that we can still do something.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more. And yeah, so we obviously, as everyone kind of had to do, we had to kind of reinvent what we did, because a lot of the patient support things we did were in-person events. So we've had to find ways to virtually do that, virtually support patients. And this kind of event with Will is kind of the perfect example of what that can look like.
After listeners now have listened to you, Cody, and heard about Turner's Heroes, I want them to engage with the organization. I want them, in honor of Turner Cockrell, to join your effort, to be a part of it, and to watch
For sure.
the work that you're doing and to be a part of that growth, whether it be financially or some other way that they can connect and share your effort. And I want to give you an opportunity to be able to share how you want listeners to connect.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Juan, for having me on, and I appreciate Sydney over at Open Hands Overflowing Hearts. We've just kind of, stayed in contact, being, similar organizations in a similar area of the country. So her inviting me to the Run for Their Lives Challenge has been great. And yeah, so I just want to give those two shout outs real quick. But in terms of how you can support us, if you follow us on social media, you'll kind of see all the things we're doing. And we do have a kind of the second half of what we're doing with Will during the month of May is a fundraiser to try to raise money for our third Discovery grant. So definitely stay tuned to that. We're going to have some cool things going on, especially if you're into golf. So definitely speaking to all the golfers out there, we're going to have some fun stuff going on that end. And then we're always looking to, partner with new schools and universities in connecting children's hospitals and student athletes and regular students as well, and giving them kind of leadership experience and fundraising and setting up events and that type of thing. And we're always looking for new partners and schools to work with, and kind of spreading the word about Turner's story and pediatric cancer awareness and that type of thing. So if you check any of those boxes, always feel free to email me at cody@turnersheroes.org. You can visit our website, any of our social medias, and just, stay connected.
What is the website address, Cody?
It's turnersheroes.org.
And then also on Instagram, it's Turner's Heroes, and also on Facebook, Turner's Heroes.
Yep, and on Twitter, Turner's Heroes. We got all of them the same.
Perfect. I love that, and I appreciate the great work that you're doing, Cody Markle, and doing it in honor of this special guy, Turner Cockrell. I know that his family obviously still grieves at the loss, but they can look at the work that's being done in honor of Turner, and I know that that gives them a good feeling inside, knowing that Turner's legacy is still alive and well, and that many people are being helped because of Turner and his own battle with cancer.
Yes, and I hope that continues and that we are able to continue to, support patients and make them feel like the heroes they are.
Absolutely. And I want to dedicate this particular show to Turner Cockrell in honor of him. And just, it's amazing that you and his family came together to do this for Turner's Heroes. And I appreciate the great work that you're doing. Again, I appreciate open hands and overflowing hearts for sharing about Turner's Heroes so that my listeners could hear about this special organization today. So thank you, Cody Markle, for joining me here on The Mark White Show.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Folks, when we come back, we're going to have a young lady from the University of North Alabama, also a Division I school, Maggie Sullivan. She's a student athlete on the advisory committee. She's the president. So we're going to be talking to her as we continue our partnership with UNA Athletics in Florence, Alabama, as the official difference-making partner of UNA Athletics. I hope you'll stick with us. You are listening to The Mark White Show, and I'm your host, Mark White.
Special kind of hero. No ordinary hero. Talking about a hero. Special kind of
If you like hickory smoked ribs that fall apart at the slightest pull, or barbecue shoulders that are so slow smoked each tender bite melts in your mouth, then you are going to love Baby Jack's Barbecue. Baby Jack's Barbecue in Bartlett and Arlington. Try the barbecue chicken, beef brisket sandwich, barbecue potato, it is huge, or the Baby Jack Trio, pork, turkey, or beef brisket sliders. You like wet ribs? They like dry ribs. Get one slab that has them both. Catering? Baby Jack's can feed a family or an army. Drive in, drive through, order online, or come in and set a minute. Baby Jack's Barbecue in Bartlett at Highway 70 in Appling, or in Arlington at Highway 70 just a block west of 385.
He's got a cold, nothing to worry about.
Just need a couple of stitches.
Your COVID rapid test is negative.
Oh boy, X-ray shows it's broken.
Trust Trinity Medical Care when you need urgent care or routine medical care. Walk-ins are welcome, or let Trinity help you virtually with telemedicine. Visit trinity-medicalcare.com for more information and follow them on Facebook. Trinity Medical Care, where your care comes first. Located on Governor's Drive and South Parkway.
Hello, my name is Christian Martinez. I'm a rising senior at Athens Bible School. My school is great because of the wonderful environment in which students can grow and flourish. We have great academics that include the University Preparatory Diploma and dual enrollment courses that lead to an associate's degree before high school graduation. All my teachers and the school's employees are Christians who are devoted to the welfare of students. We have an excellent student body, competitive sports program, and study the Bible first thing every day. It's a great place. Please consider joining us at ABS next year, or give that special child in your life the great opportunity I have.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. Losing a loved one is hard, but losing a loved one and not having an estate plan is even harder. Attorney Harlan Mitchell witnessed what not having an estate plan can do to families and decided to use his experience to do something about it. I encourage you to go to BamaEstatePlanning.com or give Harlan Mitchell a call at 256-216-9884. Again, that website is BamaEstatePlanning.com. Let Harlan Mitchell help you with estate planning. Do it for those you love, and do it today. Whether you're new to aviation or an experienced pilot looking to advance your skills, Go Vertical Aviation has you covered. With an excellent learning atmosphere and a staff committed to excellence in education, Go Vertical Aviation will customize a learning program just for you. For more information, go to goverticalaviation.com or call 256-412-5226. Be sure to follow Go Vertical Aviation on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Don't just go, go vertical.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta, Nashville, and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week, with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue. I can sing rainbow to you. Listen to your eyes, listen to your eyes.
You can sing
a rainbow, sing a rainbow,
sing along with me.
Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and
welcome back to the Mark White Show. As you just heard, I was talking to Cody Markle, who's the founder and executive director of Turner's Heroes. Now, you found out about Cody that he played football at Vanderbilt University, was a tight end, along with Turner Cockrell, who actually passed away of cancer. That organization, Turner's Heroes, was in honor of him. Interestingly enough, here on the Mary Faye Hedrick Good Deed segment, as part of my relationship with UNA Athletics as the official difference-making partner of UNA Athletics, right now I have on the line with me another student athlete, Maggie Sullivan. Maggie is on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. She's the president. Welcome to the Mark White Show, Maggie Sullivan.
Hi, how are you?
Doing very well, and I did find it interesting that here we had Cody Markle in the first couple of segments being a student athlete at Vanderbilt University, and now we have you at UNA in Florence, Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Of course, it's all about making a difference in our communities, whatever we find ourselves doing, whether we're a student athlete or we're not, to find opportunities. And I would imagine even with COVID-19 over the past year where it had a really adverse effect on students and student athletes, that you still found ways to make a difference in your community.
Yes, sir. It's been very interesting trying to find ways that are COVID safe to participate in as a student athlete committee. But we've been able to find a few opportunities here in our community. It's been very interesting trying to figure that out. But I say we've done a good job of that so far and can't wait to see what else we do in the future.
Thanks to technology, a lot of things that would actually entail human interaction, being very close to people. I know during COVID-19, you still found ways to do it. Give some examples of what you, as part of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, as the president, have done over the past year.
Yes, sir. I was inducted as president this semester. So this semester, what we've done is around Valentine's Day, we made Valentine's cards for our local hospital as athletes, and every team, a representative dropped it off at the hospital. So that was a good opportunity. And then here recently, we've had a canned food / food pantry drive for our local food pantry here on campus. So that's been really cool to see our student athletes come out and participate in that.
Absolutely. What was the response from the hospital? Is it very difficult to make those connections, or have they been very receptive to these types of efforts?
They allowed us to drop off the cards in the lobby, and they had a representative come pick them up, and then he would then distribute within the hospital. And they seemed very welcoming of the kind gesture, and they were very thankful, actually. So I know it put a smile on a lot of people's faces, and that's what we want to do as SAC.
Absolutely. And when you're thinking about cards or a food drive, like you mentioned, how do these ideas come about?
So as a SAC, we meet once a month. And so what I did is I called a meeting when I was inducted, and I asked the student athletes themselves. I said, let's brainstorm and let's think what COVID-safe ideas we could do as student athletes. And they came up with these ideas on their own, actually. So it was really cool to see them do that.
You're 20 years old. I would like to get your perspective of what COVID-19 over the past year was for you as you tried to be a student athlete at the University of North Alabama. And a lot of times, maybe our younger people, we don't get to hear their side of things, but I know it was very difficult for high school seniors that had a lot of plans that were canceled, and I know it was the same for anybody who was a student and had activities that they would have been involved in otherwise.
Yes, sir. So I came in as a freshman the year before COVID, so I got to experience a regular season without any weird stuff going on, and then COVID happened the second semester of my freshman year, and we were all called home. So from that point on, as a student athlete, I didn't get a spring training season like most freshman players would get. So a lot of my training was self-motivated at home with makeshift workouts, and it was just really difficult to stay on track. But even once we got back to school, when the regulations were all around us and everything, it was just difficult to keep in mind, at practice, coach saying 6 feet apart from your teammates, and they're some of your best friends, and being 6 feet apart is the last thing you want to do, and wearing a mask when you're not on the court at practice. I don't know. It was just very difficult, but I really leaned on my teammates and my coaches and honestly God through it all, and we made it through.
One of the things I've thought about in this particular situation is so many young people, and I was there myself. I'm not an 18, 19, or 20-year-old anymore, but when I was younger, I had a lot of goals and dreams, and doors of opportunity opened because of the interaction that I could have with people during my college experience at the University of Alabama. For young people who still have those goals and dreams, we certainly want that fire to keep going within them. We don't want that spark to flicker out because they've been disappointed by things that they weren't able to do over the past year. And we want to continue to be an encouragement to them to say, look, there are better days ahead. And that's what we hope. We can help to make those better days ourselves by, I believe, making a difference in our community, by finding positive things to take our mind away from maybe some of the things that we personally may be disappointed about, and then look at others and say, I want to direct my attention toward them and allow that to be my focus so that I can shift it away from maybe some of the things that I'm disappointed about.
Oh, yes, sir. I agree with that 100%. I think SAC and the things we're doing in SAC are a great way to just give back to the community and honestly make ourselves feel a little better by helping others, just like you just said. Completely agree.
I hope that all these things are a huge success, and I know that if you're out there with your team, with your people, and going out and making a difference in the community, that good opportunities are going to come from that just by doing. I know that if we're people of action and we take steps to make a difference in our communities, that good things will always come out of that. You can't have bad come from that when you're out there doing good.
Yes, sir. I completely agree with you. And I appreciate those kind words.
Absolutely. Well, Maggie Sullivan, thank you for joining me here on the Mark White Show, especially during the Mary Faye Hedrick Good Deeds segment. Thank you, Maggie Sullivan.
Thank you.
We appreciate Maggie Sullivan, who is the Student Athlete Advisory Committee President, for joining us here during the Mary Faye Hedrick Good Deeds segment today. A student athlete at the University of North Alabama in Florence, Alabama, and the Mark White Show is very proud to be the difference-making partner of UNA Athletics. When we come back, we're going to have a brand new episode of Kyla's Korner with Kyla Carter. I hope you'll stick with us, followed by the Make a Difference Minute replay. You are listening to The Mark White Show, and I'm your host, Mark White.
These are my kind of people.
Hi, everybody. This is DJ Thomas. You know, raindrops may be falling on your head, but on Kyla's Korner, she's living life sunny side up.
For his bed, nothing seems to fit.
I'm not your average puzzle piece. I don't give in or give up. I'll always know that I'm enough. I'm not your average puzzle piece or the perfect picture. I don't just fit in with the crowd. stand out. I don't just go with the trends. I've got
Welcome to Kyla's Korner. I'm Kyla Carter, and I hope to inspire you to spread positivity, happiness, and kindness through these segments. I live my life sunny side up, and I hope you can too. I am often asked if I ever get nervous when performing on stage or when recording music. Most expect me to say no, but the answer is actually yes. A fun fact about me is that I used to have massive stage fright. And when I say massive, I mean I didn't want to get on stage or perform. I was filled with fear to the point of tears. I had this stage fright when I was 4 years old, and I don't know where it came from, but it was very much there. Looking back, I think it was the fear of failing that made me so nervous, even at such a young age. When I was 5 years old, I was cast in a local production of Blue's Clues in the role of Baby Bear. I was the only small child who had a supporting role, therefore I was surrounded by high schoolers. Every single day I cried. I was terrified to sing, to talk, to perform, and to even be around these scary high schoolers. It came to the point where my parents were bribing me with a Barbie dream house just so I wouldn't cry for one day. Now, I want you to know that it's not that I didn't want to act or be in the show. I was just scared of performing in general, even though I loved it so much. Though my stage fright isn't even as close to as bad as it was when I was younger, I still get nervous. I sometimes still prefer to keep quiet and don't want to sing or perform in certain situations. However, over time, I have found that being nervous means that you care and that you want to give it your best. If you are nervous for a presentation, performance, or speech, just remember those feelings of nervousness or anxiety are there because you care so much about what you are doing. You want to succeed and you want to do well, but you are causing yourself those nervous feelings. So next time you are nervous, I suggest that you follow these 3 steps. First, take 3 deep breaths. Second, find 3 colorful objects around you. And third, think about 3 positive attributes you have about yourself and say them out loud. That can include something like, I am awesome, or I am doing the best I can. These 3 things will help distract your brain. Channel your nervous energy and calm your nerves. It is okay to get nervous. It's actually how you deal with that energy, and that's important. So the next time your palms are sweaty and your nerves start to shake, remember that is because you care. And also, remember to live life as I do, sunny side up. I'm Kyla Carter, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. Stay unique and find a way to make a difference that doesn't just impact you, but impacts others around you.
Welcome to the Make a Difference Minute replay, where we play Make a Difference minutes from the past week. Welcome to another edition of the Make a Difference Minute from the Mark White Show, where we're sharing stories to encourage and inspire.
Experience the difference at Athens Bible School. The vision and purpose is to provide each student a quality education in a Christ-centered environment to develop the whole person spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially in safe and supportive surroundings. The solid biblical foundation permeates learning and culture in the classrooms and every extracurricular activity.
This is the Make a Difference Minute
From the Mark White Show.
On this Make a Difference Minute, we have Mr. Roy Brook.
You know, I've always had a love of country. It's always just been a personal thing. I think there must have been something on TV that sparked that patriotism in me to want to do something. So I just looked at my wife and I said, you know, I want to do something today. So I put my best patriotic stuff on that I had at that time. And she actually went with me. And we found a place where there really wasn't that much traffic because it was Memorial Day morning. But we walked up and down a median separating east and west 280 for about an hour. From then on, I just would go out, just stand on a corner and wave to the people, and I'd get, people would blow their horns and would always have a good reception. The American flag doesn't have a political angle to it. It's a symbol that identifies you as an American. My love for the American flag is for what it stands for. I take care of it in an official manner. I try to keep it as I should. And I mean, it's hard to put in words. The American flag is a symbol of freedom. When I go into a ravaged area, I went to Fultondale. It was very encouraging that I found out from other people later that standing with the American flag was very encouraging. Law enforcement appreciated it. First responders of all kinds, medical people appreciated the effort. I mean, the American flag, even if I go to a funeral where there's no military or first responder relation to that, people appreciate it, and that's what I like to do.
Be sure to follow The Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This is Mark White encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today. Welcome to another edition of the Make a Difference Minute from The Mark White Show, where we're sharing stories to encourage and inspire.
Experience the difference at Athens Bible School. The vision and purpose is to provide each student a quality education in a Christ-centered environment to develop the whole person spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially in safe and supportive surroundings. The solid biblical foundation permeates learning and culture in the classrooms and every extracurricular activity.
This is the Make a Difference Minute
from the Mark White Show.
On this Make a Difference Minute, we have Sean Kinney with Stars and Stripes for Warriors. Sean Kinney is a firefighter with the Center Point Fire District in Alabama.
I got this idea from a Facebook post a while back of hanging flags at local fire stations for people that are deployed in the military that work for public safety, police, fire. I kind of ran with it, and I started hanging a few flags at a few fire stations, the Alabaster Fire Department, Birmingham Fire Department, just a few departments around the Birmingham metro area. So when I went with that there, I was like, as they return, what can I do with these flags as they return? Well, when they return, I make them a custom flag. I meet up with them at their fire station, their office, wherever they have the flag displayed. Take the flag, fold it in a traditional manner, put it on the plaque. I make the plaques myself. I get the nameplates down in Birmingham, Alabama, and I buy all the hardware and eventually just put it on the plaque and stain it and then present it to them as a thank you for them for serving our country, serving our local government as a firefighter, paramedic, or a police officer, or even a city councilman or a governor, mayor, whoever that serves our country. That's what that's for, as well as serving our local government. So it's just a big thank you. And it's not, I don't want people to portray it as me giving them a flag as they're deceased, and honor them as they pass away. This is just a flag they can sit on their shelf and just say, hey, it says on there, thank you and God bless, and it'll say restoring freedom and Stars and Stripes for Warriors. Something I just have a passion for our military, for what they do for our country. They're a very selfless act for what they do. Some of them sacrifice their lives overseas. And one thing I'd like to do is help, hopefully, with a friend of mine with Restoring Freedom. We're trying to lower the suicide rate of current servicemen and women as well as veterans.
If you would like to find out more about Stars and Stripes for Warriors, I encourage you to go to Stars and Stripes for Warriors on Facebook. Be sure to follow The Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This is Mark White encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today. Welcome to another edition of the Make a Difference Minute from The Mark White Show, where we're sharing stories to encourage and inspire.
Would you like enhanced energy, better moods, less fatigue, help with allergies, better sleep, mental clarity, or just want improvement of your overall immune health and well-being? Do you need to recover from intense activities, workouts, or sports? Then IV therapy at the Drip Factor inside Trinity Medical Center is right for you. Our IV drips are filled with nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that will help your body replenish, restore, and achieve your wellness goals. For more information, visit trinity-medicalcare.com and schedule your appointment today at Trinity Medical Center, located at 500 Governors Drive.
This is the Make a Difference Minute
from the Mark White Show.
On this Make a Difference Minute, I have Katie Birch of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Katie is the mom of 4-year-old Sawyer, who has recently been diagnosed with mitochondrial trifunctional protein deficiency, also known as TFP.
Sawyer was diagnosed with a rare metabolic disorder. It's called trifunctional protein deficiency. Our bodies, the first line of energy that we use is fats, and then we go to carbs. What we don't want to do is we go into our muscles. Sawyer has the inability to break down fats. He does not have the enzymes present to be able to do that. So essentially his body burns through the carbs and starts breaking down his muscles. He was showing some muscle weakness, things that just kind of stood out. I'm a pediatric nurse, so things that I just knew weren't right. And I kept pushing and searching for answers. 2 years later, we finally got a diagnosis through genetic testing, and he was positive for TFP. There's a specialty oil that Sawyer can have. Those that have been treated with this oil from childhood are in their mid-20s, and they're doing excellent. Insurance has not approved this oil for us. It is $5,000 every 2 weeks. It is very overwhelming. If he doesn't have it, he won't live.
I encourage you to support the effort by going to Facebook and following Sawyer Strong, a family's journey to a 1 in a million diagnosis. You can also go to Instagram at Sawyer Strong with TFP. You can support the GoFundMe by searching Life-Saving Oil for Super Strong Sawyer Birch. Be sure to follow The Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This is Mark White encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today. Welcome to another edition of the Make a Difference Minute from The Mark White Show, where we're sharing stories to encourage and inspire.
Mr. Cecil Batchelor is the one that started this business as Dependable Service Center. And even though now it's Green's Dependable Hardware and we're a true value store, our tagline is still Your Dependable Service Center. We've tried to keep that alive for all these years. Mr. Batchelor really started a good business. We're really excited to be carrying on a long-standing tradition. It's the oldest retail store in the city of Russellville. We're Green's Dependable Hardware, 15220A Highway 43 in Russellville, Alabama. We're right behind McDonald's or right across the street from the hospital. Number is 256-331-0123.
Your Dependable Service Center.
This is the Make a Difference Minute
From the Mark White Show.
I'm so glad to have Jamie Popwell on the line with me right now. We're talking about Flags for Vets.
Flags for Vets was formed officially in January of 2017. I had come back from Afghanistan in 2015 and working as a consultant for a company. Was laid off 3 days before Christmas in 2016 and decided at 52 years old, having never been unemployed, I needed to find something to keep me busy. And that's kind of where it was formed. And our first installation officially was January 27th of that year to a gentleman named Ralph Powell, who is a Vietnam veteran from the U.S. Army. You know, the 512 individuals that we've gifted flagpoles to. Actually, it's 512 flagpoles. There have been the ripple effect to what we're able to do for that one veteran is I don't think you can quantify it. I don't think you can put a number on the people that it has affected in a positive way. I've been blessed on so many levels to be able to do this, and I truly believe that I'm led down this road, and I don't know where it's going to end. I don't know what the end figure is going to be. I just know I'm just kind of working on that dash between when I'm here and when I'm gone, and it's important to me in my legacy to continue to honor those that served in whatever way I'm physically fit to be able to do.
Sounds good to me, Jamie, and I hope that this interview will help some out there that are looking for those opportunities and that this will help to grow Flags for Vets. I do encourage them to check out Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Flags for Vets, as well as going to your website, flagsforvets.us. If you have a suggestion for the Make a Difference Minute, send it to themarkwhiteshow@gmail.com. Be sure to follow The Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This is Mark White encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today. Welcome to another edition of the Make a Difference Minute from The Mark White Show, where we're sharing stories to encourage and inspire. Whether you're new to aviation or an experienced pilot looking to advance your skills, Go Vertical Aviation has you covered. With an excellent learning atmosphere and a staff committed to excellence in education, Go Vertical Aviation will customize a learning program just for you. For more information, go to goverticalaviation.com or call 256-412-5226. Be sure to follow Go Vertical Aviation on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Don't just go vertical.
This is the Make a Difference Minute
From the Mark White Show.
On this Make a Difference Minute, I have Millicent Huff, who is sharing about Michael Gilbert Jr., known as Mike, who was involved in a terrible accident on March 26th while on the job delivering packages for residents in North Shelby County, Alabama.
We do not have many details. No one was really able to be there and be present. My cousin, his wife, Dominique, after we realized he was in an accident, went straight to UAB. But we have limited details onto what exactly happened. Michael, he is very laid back, fun, outgoing, down to earth. We always share good laughs. A family man, loves my cousin and her daughter and his daughter, like well-rounded person altogether. Surprisingly, people have really been very generous with their donations, and they're just coming out of nowhere, people that you don't even know that you have come into life with that try to do right by people. So it's still good people out there. Even with the world that we live in, there's still great people out there that care. Monetary donations will probably be the most beneficial as of right now because, like I said, we're taking it one day at a time. He has a long road to recovery. He's going for surgeries, pretty much on a daily basis at this time. I just wanted to have a general platform for people to be able to donate to Mike and Dominique to help with this process.
I encourage you to support the GoFundMe for Mike by going to GoFundMe.com and searching Michael Gilbert Jr.'s Road to Recovery. Be sure to follow The Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This is Mark White encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today. Once again, we'd like to thank Cody Markle, founder and executive director of Turner's Heroes, for joining us here on The Mark White Show today. I encourage you to go check out Turner's Heroes on social media and find out where you can make a difference in this special organization. We also appreciate Maggie Sullivan with UNA Athletics for joining us here on The Mark White Show today. We also appreciate the brand new episode of Kyla's Korner from Kyla Carter. I hope that this show is making a difference in your life, that you are encouraged and inspired by the efforts that we recognize. If you are, I hope that you'll share The Mark White Show with your friends, your neighbors, and your family. You have been listening to a Saturday edition of The Mark White Show, and this is your host, Mark White, encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today.
Well, let's all do something good today.